morning. Good morning. Let me turn this off before I don't want to get a copyright strike. Echo off. Y'all listening to You Can't Break My Soul. Some of y'all need to make sure you getting up in the morning. I turn my gospel music on. I said, I just came home from Pilates. Let me put on You Can't Break My Soul. Remember, there is power in your praise. There is power in your praise. Turn that music on no matter what it is, and just make sure you get that heaviness off of you. Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. It's just Montina here. Y'all, my name is really Montina. Hello, hello, hello to my friends that are supporting me while I'm doing these calls. My name is Montina, and I do have an agenda every day, y'all. I ain't going on here just like, oh my gosh. No, we have an agenda that we follow. And I want to welcome you because if you're here, especially those that have been married 10, 20, 30 years, people, yeah, y'all joining the call because y'all supporting y'all friend. Listen, there is something in the world right now where there are women shaming other women because they're married or they're like happily married women don't give advice. I ain't giving no advice. Support. There is a place for support, and support is important for all of us. There's grief support, there's Alcoholics Anonymous, narcissistic personality disorder support groups. There are divorce support groups. If you get a divorce, there's a divorce support group, but there's no marriage support group for us. There's nothing. And then if we're joining a support group, they're like, oh, girl, you got stuff going on in your marriage. You might, but you might be in that 80-20, where 80% of the time, where those 24 days out of the month are amazing. And then 6 days, you're like, this isn't what I signed up for. We are here to support each other. If you want to join me live, there's a link that I can send you so you can actually pop up on the screen with me, because I'm here because, yeah, I need something like this. I should not be in a third marriage. First marriage is 50% end in divorce. Second marriage is 67% end in divorce. Third marriages, only 5% of folks do it, and 73% of those end in divorce. And if you don't have women around you that are wise, that are encouraging, that are inspirational, like, girl, don't do it. Listen, I'm going through some shit over here too, but girl, don't do it. Girl, don't do it. Stay in that marriage, wait it out, see it through. I heard a man yesterday mention this was a 66-year-old woman who wanted a divorce. And he was like, look, even in my marriage, there were some times that were hard. And I'm thinking he was going to say 2 days, 3 days. He was like, yeah, you might go through 4 years, 5 years. We heard Michelle Obama talking about it. And I don't want to go through 5 years where it's tough. But if you hear that, you're just like, wow. But then some people are like, I don't want to go through no struggle love. And most of the time it's single people. What is struggle love? I don't know what your threshold is, but we are married, y'all. We made a commitment. And like I said, cheating and beating. If he beating, girl, you need friends like us because we going to beat his ass. Okay. We ain't going to play with him. But what are we doing? I want to stay married. I want to stay committed. There are going to be good times, bad times, high times, low times. But how can we help each other through this journey that we signed up for? Okay, y'all, we said, I do it. I didn't put my ring on today because I ran out to the gym. So that's why I created this group. It ain't that we out here and you're joining because things are wrong. You want to make sure that they stay right, right? I go to the gym so I can stay right. I can stay fit, not because, well, I'm just going to take a couple years off. Well, we know what taking a couple years off, what happens? It's more difficult to go. Okay. So again, I have my notes here. That's why I created it. 80% of the time says, and I use numbers. I'm a facts person. 80%, thanks for my hearts. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. 80% of the time, marriage is like wonderful. But what about that 20% that you're like, oh my God? And if you're in a first marriage, sis, stay. If you're in a second marriage, stay. Third, if y'all crazy like me, stay. You and your first marriage are probably going to go through some things with your mother-in-law. You're going to go through some things, maybe growth pains, financial pains, but you're going to grow together. You're going to have your kids together. But what happens when you're in a second and third marriage and you're dealing now with things that they don't talk about? Stepkids. And I'm not talking about like his biological children. I'm talking about her biological children that he was there for some number of years and has grown an attachment to. Now you're dealing with his stepkids that are your stepkids. Ain't no videos about that. You're dealing with step grandchildren. What happens when you have an event that you want to go to and he's off going to something for someone else? Whereas if you're in the first marriage, y'all know y'all going to your kids' graduation, that mom and dad. So again, there are things people don't talk about that I want to make you aware of so that we're proactive instead of reactive in marriage. And this is what some of the older women could not teach us, because once they were widowed or maybe divorced, they didn't get married again. So they didn't experience some of the things that are experienced now. So I'm trying to help you. Okay. I am. and I'm going to try to help you till I die. Stay in that marriage, sis. I have plenty of videos on this channel. Sis, stay married, because marriage is good. It's building these relationships, and we have to build our relationship muscle. Okay. So, all right, that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this. So, as we talk, we are talking about the battlefield of the mind. And some of these men, some of y'all too, sometimes we are demonically possessed. We'd be like, oh, girl, he crazy. We have to call this stuff what it is. Demonically possessed. Our enemy, Satan, attempts to defeat us with strategy and deceit through well laid plans and deliberate deception. If somebody has well laid plans and deliberate deception, like if they walked up to you and I said, girl, he got a gun and his plan is to come over and kill you, you'd be like, you would have a, like, seriously, like we really need to start thinking like this is the freaking matrix that we're in. And if someone has a strategy and a well laid plan through this deliberate deception, the devil can only work through people. He's not working through dogs, cats, and pigs. He's working through people. Okay. So that means he may be working through your spouse to get to you. Marriage is sacred. He hates marriage. The stats prove it. So make sure that you're doing the proactive work. That's why we here. Why we here? Why we here? Why we here? So we're talking about a ready mind, the force of hope from the battlefield of the mind. No unbelief or distrust made him waver, doubting question concerning the promise of God, but he grew strong and was empowered by faith as he gave praise and glory to God. And this was talking about Abraham, hope being gone, hoped in faith that he should become the father of many nations, as he had been promised. So shall your descendants be. He did not weaken in faith when he considered the impotence of his own body, which was as good as dead, because he was 100 years old, and then Sarah's womb was barren. But no unbelief or distrust made him waver, doubtingly question concerning the promise of God. He grew strong and was empowered by faith as he gave praise and glory to God. The more positive you and I become, the more we will be in the flow of God. God is certainly positive, and to flow with him, we must also be positive. And then she says, this is Joyce Meyer. You may have really adverse circumstances. Sis, you might be in the valley in your marriage. And some of us are, some of us are not. You might be happily married. It doesn't matter. Because some of us and some of you believe like, girl, you wouldn't believe me. We believe you, sis. We believe you. I believe you. And let me tell you something. If she says here, if you knew my situation, you wouldn't even expect me to be positive. I encourage you to reread that. She says that Romans in which it reported that Abraham, after sizing up his situation, sis, after sizing up your situation, consider your situation. And although all human reason for hope is gone, he hoped in faith. And I'm hoping in faith for you. Be positive about your situation. Expect a miracle and expect good things. Now, again, there's power in your prayers, there's power in your praise. You know, I like to make it practical. We have to read this word, there's power in your praise, but to make it very practical, make sure that you are investing in reading something about your marriage. 10 things, Dr. Laura Sessinger, I'm not sure if she's on the air anymore, but she used to be super popular way back in the day. She has a book, The Proper Care and Feeding a Marriage. She has a book, 10 things couples, stupid things couples do to mess up their marriage, stupid secrets, withholding important information for fear of rejection, stupid egotism, asking not what you can do for the relationship, but only what the relationship can do for you, stupid pettiness, making a big deal out of the small stuff. You have to be emotionally mature to be in a marriage. It takes a lot of emotional maturity to hold your tongue. It does. Not stupid happiness, seeking stimulation and assurance from all the wrong places to satisfy the immature need to feel good. Sis, you need to protect your peace. Sis, I wouldn't be up in there being unhappy. You might have a period of unhappy. Why? I mean, we have periods of unhappy in life. Sis, what makes you happy? That's why I have hobbies and habits, and I'll talk about that as well. But the practical part is that happily married women, as they're putting out on the internet, don't share. It's not, every marriage is so different. We were at my Pilates class kind of talking about this, but every marriage, it's like, it's no like clear cut, here is the path to it, the happiest marriage on planet. Don't go to sleep angry. That's hard. Some people get that right, some people don't. But your marriage is going to be different. The days are going to be different. You want to make sure that you're emotionally mature. Some women are like, oh, men cheat. Well, maybe their men do cheat. Maybe this man is lazy. Okay, maybe this man is late. There's just different things. Men are fill in the blank. It just is what it is. Be emotionally mature. Um, and then the big thing is a lot of people are talking about they're in sexless marriages. Sis, get his needs, her needs, how to affair proof your marriage. And we all know sex is important. We know we need affection and admiration and adoration and all this stuff from men. Men just need sex because they need sex. But what I'm saying to you is start to understand as much time as you're taking to prepare for your career, as much time as you're taking to prepare for your master's, your PhD, and all of that, take the time to study your husband and study marriage because it's just different. Nobody has the secret sauce for a successful marriage because then you have to go way back and say, were you in a first marriage, second marriage, third marriage? I had an aunt that was married 7 times. I mean, I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying every marriage is different. So that's why we're here. Make sure that you're meditating. And I'll tell you a quick tip secret for, getting probably, again, sometimes you have medical things going on, but if you want to, for me, Pilates, yoga, meditation bar, it does something because Pilates be putting you in all these little different moves with your legs. And you be like, oh, okay. So maybe you need a little oomph that might help you with that. So sex is important. We gotta have that talk. Sex is important and being enthusiastic. Okay. So we want to be happy wives, not because of happy life, but we want to have happy spouses and happy houses. No one wants to be with someone and they're unhappy, but there may be periods of time when things just are not amazing. And that's okay because we are real over here. Make sure you're investing in your self-care and your self-maintenance. I got my hair done yesterday. I'm trying to preserve my silk press and went to the gym already, my Pilates. But your self care is spiritual, emotional, it's your mental, and it is also your physical. Okay, I enjoy going to see my hairdresser. We just have a good time. It's kind of time to unwind and talk. Resources are there. And y'all, no weapon formed against you shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is your strength. The joy of the Lord is your strength. So, as we are gearing up for the weekend, I'll be back on Monday. I want you to know it's Memorial Day weekend. There's going to be some somber times for people. Some of y'all going out to barbecue. Some of y'all going to jazz festivals. Some of y'all are with your spouses going out to these things. And some of you are not. You see your companion. Your companion's going to someplace else. But I want you to make sure that the joy of the Lord is your strength. Y'all look good when you go out and about. Do things that make you happy and joyful. Some behaviors you just have to ignore. Some behaviors you have to ignore. Be and I'm trying to just word this right because y'all text me afterwards. I see and hear what you say, but be emotionally mature. These are men that we're married to. They're not women. Women encourage each other. Women, hey sis, hey, how you doing? But we're married to men, and all men are different. What I'm finding, many of them like to service with acts of service. That's probably not your first love language. Probably it's affirmation, physical touch, quality touch. But sis, this man recognize what he's doing, appreciate what he's doing. I have to write notes. I don't have to, but I desire to. I write my husband notes every single day, just something, Monday through Friday. If he goes someplace, I try to hide a note in his clothes or his shoe or something. And it's just the way that I share and I show love to him. Many of us know our spouse's love languages better than they know themselves, right? But again, this is for you. So share this with a friend. If you'd like to join me live, come to the Just Montina. But like I said, honey, remember your word for the day and your mood. How do you feel today? Do you have a little bit of anxiety? Be honest with yourself. So when I do my moods, when I have up this 4 that I showed, and I'm going to show it again today because we have more folks on the call. Look at this. What's your mood? I try to look at my mood every day, and every day I'm not happy. Some days I'm hopeful. Some days I'm smug. Some days I'm angry. Some days I am cautious. Some days I'm overwhelmed. Be honest this with yourself. Be honest with yourself so that you can check in with yourself every single day. So I think I hit everything on my notes. Oh, and text 5 friends. If you don't have 5 friends, sis, make some new friends. We need each other. We should not be in this world alone. So leave me a comment below because I'm going to tell you that no weapon formed against you shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is your strength. And I promise you, the joy of the Lord is your strength. Oh, this is what I wanted to say about the moral. Some of you are going to barbecues and events, and I realize that you're uncomfortable in the family dynamic in the situation. Sis, don't do that to yourself. If you have to excuse yourself, if you don't feel good, if you don't want to go, we're grown ups. You are a grown woman. Stop going around people that don't like you, that don't like you, and they don't like you. Sometimes it's difficult to be the only one there with no other family around. You don't have to do that. You have permission to stay home. You have permission to see your own family. You have permission to go see a friend. You have permission to do so. So, again, no weapon formed against you shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is your strength. And I will see you next week, y'all. Please share this with a friend. Bye. We gonna end this stream. I'm gonna keep waving until we end the stream, y'all. Bye, y'all.